Honda has had many green plans over the years. In fact, the greening of Honda has been all over the map. Honda's latest green news came in late 2019 in Europe, which kind of makes sense because Europe is really moving ahead on a green vehicle, personal vehicle strategy. Anyway, Honda unveiled this strategy for electrification, with the idea being that by 2022, in less than 2 years, every version of a Honda model will in some way be electrified. Okay, let's be very clear. Honda doesn't plan to have a full battery electric version of every model in its lineup within a couple of years. No. By electrify, we mean there'll be at least a hybrid version of every Honda model in the lineup. This is news because the last time we heard from Honda, the idea was to complete electrification in Europe by 2025. But we do need to take Honda's pronouncements with a bit of a grain of salt. I mean, over the last couple of decades, Honda has bounced from hybrids to hydrogen, to more efficient gasoline engines, to plug-in hybrids, to full battery electrics. I mean, look, Honda's a very secretive company, and what we hear today may not necessarily be what happens in the showroom tomorrow. Since at least the first Honda Insight hybrid arrived, and a shockingly ugly little two-door it was, well, Honda's competitors, say the Hyundai Motor Group, and newcomers like Tesla have buckled down on concrete strategies to electrify cars. So this brings us to the Clarity. What does this front drive, mid-size, four-door hatchback tell us about Honda's plan? While the Clarity is several years old, it does deliver excellent fuel economy and limited all-electric range. It's quiet, roomy, has weird styling, a dated interior, and a big price tag. And it's anything but sporty, though strangely, you can punch up a sport mode. Ignore it. The ride here cossets you. The cabin is quiet, especially in all EV mode, and even when the little gas engine is charging the electric drive, it's barely a rumble. Without a doubt, the Clarity is comfortable enough and it comes with lots of standard and safety features. The cabin is fine, but a little plain, and the 8-inch touchscreen is undersized by today's standards. As for comfort, well, here up front, lots of legroom, decent seats, not great, decent. In the back, well, again, okay legroom, comfortable enough. The problem here, if there is one, the gas tank intrudes into the cargo space. However, the back seats flip and fold flat so you can maximize the available cargo room. You could live with the Clarity and never go for a fill-up with gas, if you keep your daily drive to 60, maybe 70 kilometers, charging up with a 240-volt station, 2.5 hours. This is an expensive ride. However, it does qualify for the federal government's $5,000 green rebate. BC and Quebec residents also qualify for provincial rebates. The big problem here is design. This Clarity looks like the unwanted stepchild of that 1999 Insight. The wheel cutout in the rear is just weird, and I know it's aerodynamic, but it's weird and unattractive. And the hatchback roofline, completely uninspired. This is not a pretty car. As for the nuts and bolts, the electric half of this two-motor powertrain is rated at 181 horsepower. Once you've drained the battery pack, the 1.5-liter gas engine kicks in, unless you need a little assist earlier for, say, passing or merging. The 103 horsepower Atkinson cycle 4-cylinder engine generates electricity and under certain circumstances acts as a direct power source. What's all this mean? Well, if you know your hybrids, you'll know that the Clarity is a serial hybrid. So the engine turns a generator that produces the current to charge the batteries for the electric motor that drives the car. Don't expect breathtaking performance, but 0 to 100 kilometers an hour arrives in about 8 seconds. So what does the Clarity here, this plug-in hybrid, tell us about Honda? Well, some of its green cars are a bit aged, and the whole green planet Honda is a work in progress, so stay tuned.